Guys, this is looking better than I thought. I don't know what's happening with Plarium. They are trying to get on the good side of the players, and I'm liking it. So let's get started with the video. Hey guys, coldbrew here. Welcome back to another video. I wanted to bring you with this specific announcement of the next fusion that is coming into raid. Well, yes, we're not directly getting, obviously, we're not directly getting shards and all these resources by Plarium. Although the thumbnail you think is misleading, this fusion is so good that you'll get what I mean immediately, all right? I want to emphasize that fusions are not just an automatic win. You don't automatically get them. You have to put the work in, and the most difficult part, I would say, is the summon events and tournaments that go along with it. But we will have time to prepare. It is starting on August 3rd, so there is enough time for you guys to start maybe farming mystery shards for getting points and saving up every single ancient, void, or sacred that may come your way until that time. So let's continue on, and let me show you the exact skills. Okay, so how is this guy called? Emic Trunkheart. Emic. Sounds like a very weird name, but let's get started with the good stuff, the skills of this champion. It's a Void HP legendary guy, so have that in mind. Void fusions might be on the more difficult side, but again, it will be worth it if you are having issues with the game in many different areas, and especially the clan boss. That's where all the resources will be coming in. This champion has a very unique skill on his A3 that provides an unkillable buff on all allies for 2 turns. Also applies a taunt on himself and a shield buff on himself. The value of the shield is equal to 30% of this champion's max HP. This has a 4-turn cooldown. So an unkillable buff for 2 turns on the whole team. It just screams clan boss team potential. It just screams alternatives to, let's say, Roshcard, to, let's say, Helicath. All those teams will work the same way that Emic is working, and we will have the teams coming up as soon as we get access to this champion on the test server for you guys to actually see the potential, see if it's worth it for you. If you're having still issues with the clan boss, then this champion will be the key to help you push through. All right, this is not the only thing that he provides. This is not just another unkillable champion. Let's go over the A1. Let's go back to the A1. Increases the value of all shield buffs on this champion by 25%. Also increases the value of any shield buffs on the ally with the lowest HP. So big shields coming in helps you protect your team in, you know, non-clan boss situations, really, because on the clan boss you'll be running a constant unkillable with that A3 skill, okay, based on the setups that you'll be running. And then his A2 attacks all enemies, places a shield buff on all allies equal to 30% of this champion's max HP for 2 turns. Decreases the cooldown of all ally skills except this champion by 1 turn. So already we are seeing the big potential for a lot of damage coming in from just this champion because of the decrease on cooldowns of your other allies. So I can potentially see either a combination of this guy plus another champion to create very strong and killable teams, or just by himself, which I think will be very, very doable because of this skill, because of the decrease on cooldowns. It is a short cooldown on itself with a 3-turn cooldown. If we compare it to Painkeeper, she has it on a 4-turn cooldown. So just remember that it's much different, since it also provides the shield, which can be used in other parts of the game. So let's jump directly into his passive. When it's called Entanglement. When attacked while under a shield buff, has a 50% chance of increasing the cooldown of a random skill on the attacker by 2 turns. Occurs once per attack whenever an ally's HP drops below 20%. Increases the damage dealt by that ally by 20%. So all of your damage in an unkillable setup will be boosted by 20% just because of this. So this just shouts extremely better damage on clan boss, even better than what your Roshcard team might be giving you, or even your Helicath team. The Helicath team might be working with just the Helicath, but this guy right here is going to be extra special because, well, very obvious, because he adds a 20% more damage boost to everybody. I can't see a fault of this champion. He's also a void, which makes it easier for you to redirect maybe a stun to a different champions so that you don't miss out on this skill. It will make it easier for us to speed tune a team for the clan boss. I know that the majority of players who are somewhere in the mid game going into the late game are having issues with making a proper team for the clan boss. Okay, that is where most people seem to have a problem with currently in the game, is when pushing into that 2 key territory for the ultra nightmare. That 2 key allows you to then focus on different parts of the game. Okay, once you get the 2 key, that means most of the time a 1 key on nightmare and a 1 key on brutal. That gives you a 3 clan boss potential in terms of the amount of chests that you get. 3 times 2, 6 chests per day. It just screams tons of resources available for your account constantly, over and over, every single day that you are farming the clan boss, and this champion unlocks it. I'm so happy with this decision. It's the same thing that when we had the Helicath fusion, we just told everybody go for it. It will be a huge champion for you, and it did change lots of people's accounts. Many people out there might have something like a man-eater team going already. Like a single man-eater is not as easy to make as this kind of team. A Demytha team can be easy, but you still need very good champions and very high speeds. These kind of teams require less speeds and much easier to handle. And let me give you just a small example of what I mean. So if you head over to the Deadwood Jedi website, you'll see all of these teams. If you type in Tower on the top, you'll see all of these teams featuring Roshkart the Tower, who does have a very similar skill. It's a block damage skill, the 4-turn cooldown for a 2 duration protection of your whole team for the clan boss. So all of these teams that you see right here, the Tower Valkyrie, slow tuned man tower unkillable, the Myth Tower, fast tower, all of these teams will be working with this new fusion. So there's potential to build much stronger teams for yourself and make that damage, well, whatever kind of damage you were running before, this should be much better, right? As long as you have the gear to follow through and just click on, let's say, the fast tower, Skull Crusher and Killable, you'll be able to set this up. That being said, it will not be that easy for this specific one that I'm looking at, since it does have Skull Crusher, and Skull Crusher, you'll be forcing the stun on that champion, and you'll also be reducing your cooldowns by 1 turn, because Skull Crusher will always be getting the stun. With that being said, I believe you can actually get Skull Crusher to go with it slower, so he's not on a 4-3 ratio. So yeah, just understand that there's a lot of teams that will be made just because of this fusion. I'm very excited. I think that this champion also has potential for PvP, not just PvE, because of the way that his passive works, where he does have a chance to increase the cooldown of a random skill on the attacker by 2 turns if he gets attacked with a shield buff. So you can actually use this champion with, let's say, either a shield set or a bolster set for PvP, and utilize him as a way to indirectly increase the cooldown. So it's not a direct, it's not a skill that increases them. You got to get attacked first based on the conditionals, and that's when you'll be increasing the cooldowns of one random skill by 2 turns, which is still very strong. It's not as strong as the obvious, let's say, Yumeko or Warlord, but still a very, very strong skill. I'm so excited. Can't wait to see the teams that will pop up in both PvP and PvE by all of the creators in Raid. Thank you guys all for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. What do you guys think of this fusion that is coming? Do you think it's as good as Nut? I don't think so. It's as good, but it's still looking very good in terms of what Plarium has been providing the players. Another champion like Helicath for basically, well, free. It's not free, I know. It's a fusion. There's work and luck involved as well. Depends on how difficult they make it. But yeah, I am confident that it's gonna help a lot of players out there. Maybe people who decided to save up resources instead of going for Gnut. Maybe they were feeling tight and knew that they wouldn't get him. Maybe this champion will actually be the key to helping them push for that clan boss. Those rewards on clan boss are definitely worth it. So clan boss being the #1 priority means that these kind of fusions become also #1 priority if you still are having some issues. For everybody else, I still think it's a solid champion. Very unique skill set. Also, Sylvan Watchers, so it's going to help with your faction wars and getting all those final rewards. So have that in mind. This was the video. Thank you all for watching, guys. Subscribe. I will see you in the next one. See ya.